Hey everybody, it's Milo, and today we're taking a journey for wildlife in Congaree National Park. Now, I love Congaree. It is so close to my house. In fact, it's only about a 30-minute drive, and it is unbelievable to think that an ecosystem, this bottomland forest, is so close to where I live. Such a special place. Now, I have to brag on South Carolina for a second because we are one of only 29 states that are lucky enough to have a state park. There are many states that have zero. In fact, New York, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Alabama, Georgia, I mean, I'm not trying to call y'all out by names, but none of those states have their own national park. So we're pretty fortunate right here in South Carolina to have our very own right in the middle of our state. Don't forget, before you come to Congaree, pack your mask. I have mine literally in my back pocket, ready to go. But to be honest, I arrived here just right after sunrise, and I've only encountered maybe 2 or 3 different people on the boardwalk. But because most of the trails are actually boardwalk driven here in Congaree, it's a little difficult to socially distance when there are other people on the trail. So pack that mask along with you, have it out and ready, so that way you can slow the spread. Highly recommend grabbing the self-guided boardwalk tour when you're over at the visitor center. Otherwise, I would have had no idea number 11 off the boardwalk was home to this massive loblolly pine. Check out how big it is. It keeps going. It keeps going. Oh, let's see if we can get a good view of it. Check that out. It is over 150 feet tall. Amazing. Definitely a tip to go ahead and grab these self-guided kind of tours on your own, and then when you're done with them, go ahead and just return them back to the visitor center so that way the next visitor can use them too. I'm about halfway through the boardwalk loop, and the boardwalk loop, I have to say, is probably one of the best introductions to Congaree. It's going to give you that ground level view in this beautiful mature forest. It's only about 2.6 miles in full, so it's a very accessible loop for first-time visitors to the park. It's kind of like the appetizer to Congaree. It's the one that people most trek. But it's not the only trails here at Congaree. In fact, Congaree has about 25 miles of hiking trails, which is amazing to think that South Carolina has that right in the middle of the state. In fact, some of my favorite trails here at Congaree, besides the boardwalk area, actually take you to the banks of the Congaree River for some spectacular and very kind of wilderness views of that water system. Quick tip, when you're out in nature, don't forget to slow down. Don't rush things. Pause, take a breath, be quiet, be present, but also be aware, because what I just stepped over surprised me. I went ahead and crossed over the cutest little set of raccoon tracks as they crossed over the boardwalk. I must have missed the raccoon by maybe 5 to 10 minutes. So pause, slow down, and be aware of your surroundings. Congaree National Park is often coined as Redwoods East, which makes sense because their claim to fame is that they are the largest intact, old-growth bottomland forest in the southeast. I dare you to try to say that 3 times fast. Let me go ahead and say it one more time. They are the largest intact, old-growth bottomland forest here in the southeast, which what it means, and if I can translate it for all of you, is that Congaree is famous for huge trees. I mean, we're talking an average of about 100 feet for a canopy height. These are massive trees, which makes for a stunning ecosystem, home to lots of different species, huge biodiversity here in this area, and this beautiful kind of water-centered ecosystem. One of my favorite features of Congaree are all of the bald cypress trees. They are massive, but they are famous for these iconic knees that come out of the ground. Now, oddly enough, scientists don't really fully understand what they're used for, what the purpose of these knees are. Some say that they might be for structural support during high winds or during flooding, which makes sense, of course, here in this ecosystem. But these majestic trees can live upwards of 1,000 years, which makes them that much more impressive here in this ecosystem. Thanks for joining on my adventure to Congaree today. If you need any more convincing why you need to visit this national park, well, here's your last incentive. Unlike a lot of national parks, there is no park fee and there is no parking fee, which means you can come here and explore for free. Literally no money to your name. So what kind of strings attached do you have for not coming to visit? So that's my last plug I'm going to give you. But before you head to Congaree, make sure to go to the National Parks website and check out all the trail updates, the conditions. Since Congaree is in a floodplain, sometimes those trails are changing just for your safety as a visitor. So head to that website before you come out and explore. But join me on my next Journey for Wildlife right here on Milo's Wildlife.